Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how SriRamchandra crosses the sea on the bridge that was built by Nala. So Nala builds a bridge, that the bridge was 10 yojanas wide and 100 yojanas long. So it was Samudra who informs him that Nala is the best person to do the job because he is Vishwakarma's son and he is bestowed with all the knowledge by Vishwakarma himself. Nala accepts it. They build the bridge. These vanaras, they bring all sorts of things from all places so that the stones and all also, so that the bridge can be built. They build the bridge, and now that they have built the bridge, SriRamchandra walks along with all the vanaras. The vanaras, though they take different routes to come there, but they finally reach Lanka. And once they reach Lanka, SriRamchandra looks at Lakshmana and he says, finally we are at the place where Sita is there right now. But oh Lakshmana, I hope you also have observed that there are a lot of signs and that are telling us that we will be winning the war and Ravana will be losing the war. And he describes all those signs. There's a complete sarga that describes about these signs. So he says, oh Lakshmana, have you observed that there is huge amount of wind that is blowing? There is a lot of dust that is raising. All this inform that the person who is living inside in this protected fort, that person is going to have a very bad time in the next fight. We are seeing red drops coming from the clouds. That also is an indication that there is going to be a lot of bloodbath. And then even from the sun, we are seeing that small sparks are coming out. That's another indication. Chandra also is not shining to the optimum in the night. So that also tells us that the king who is here, he is having a real bad time and we are going to definitely win this war. And then he also thinks about Sitamaa. I mean, there are a lot of other signs also which SriRamchandra says, but for the paucity of time, I am moving on. And then he again remembers Sitamaa. He feels uncomfortable. And then Lakshmana quickly comes and says, no, you are going to win this war as you just told. Don't worry too much about her. We are going to rescue her. We are here to do that. It was a momentary feeling where he was taken over by the emotions that, and when he comes back, he looks at Lakshmana and says, we should create a formation in which the entire army would be safe. Quickly decide on what sort of formation that we should do, and then he and Lakshmana have a discussion. Then SriRamchandra says we should be going ahead with Garuda Vyuhakara. What does it mean by a Garuda Vyuha is, imagine a big eagle sleeping on the floor with its beak straight and the wings stretched. So that's how the army is going to look like. And SriRamchandra says, I myself would be leading at the head of this army. So I will be in the Sirasthana, Neela will be in the place where the bird's heart would be. Rishabha is going to take care of the right flank of the army. The left flank of the army will go to Gandhamadana. Because we should not be attacked from behind, Sugriva would be at the back or the tail of the bird and he would be ensuring that there is no attack that would happen from the back. And as the formation was happening, all these Vanaras, they start getting their weapons. What are their weapons? They bring in a lot of stones, they bring in a lot of trees, and they also bring in a lot of boulders, very big ones, so that they can use whatever is needed at whatever point of time. So all of them are currently very upbeat about the war that is going to come. In the meantime, SriRamchandra now goes to Sugriva and he says, now that even we have made our army, now that we have even made the formations for our army, I don't think we should keep that Suka in our control anymore. Let him fly back to Ravana. In the previous episode, when we were looking at this Suka's thing, previous instance, 1 or 2 episodes before this, we need to remember that SriRamchandra kept him away from harm, but he was not completely released. And now SriRamchandra is saying, now release him so that he'll go to Ravana and talk. So Suka immediately takes leave of SriRamchandra, goes to Ravana and says, this is a very huge army. Sugriva is in no mood for any reconciliation. He is comparing you with your friend Vali, whom you even feared at some point of time. Sugriva is saying that you also should go in the path of Vali. Looking at this entire army, O Ravana, I don't think we stand a chance to win this war. So it's always better that you think of any other means other than this war. Ravana says, oh Suka, you look very dull. I understand that they have tied away your wings and all. Suka, you might be giving me the right report, but you also need to understand my strengths. Nobody has defeated me in the war till now. He lost in the hands of Ali, but then he speaks whatever he wants. That's why he's Ravana, no? And then he's saying even SriRamchandra did not face me in the war. Once he faces me in the fight, once he faces me in the war, things are going to be very difficult for him. I am not going to spare him. I'm going to win over him. I'm going to just decimate him. All the sort of things he'll say. And then he's pretty confident that, that he is not going to lose. And he is saying, the way I'm going to show my power, O Suka, you will never be able to understand. Saying this, Ravana asks even Sarana to come, and what he would order further, that's something that we'll be seeing in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Sarvam tu visasmana swam charana arvinda arpanamastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.